My name is Jennifer DeHart. I'm the Chief Sustainability Officer at Unity College. Unity does a number of things to try to reduce the amount of organic matter that we send to the landfill. And there are several reasons for that. Once organics get to landfills, they often undergo anaerobic digestion and create methane, and methane has a very high global warming potential. So anytime we send organics to the landfill, we're doing quite a bit to negatively affect our planet's global warming potential. And another reason is that very often organics that we send to landfill could have been used prior to being considered waste. So we would want to look upstream, as we say, to how we might reduce food waste by offering less and helping students choose wiser portions, planning better for catered events, and making the most out of what we do in production. Also, more recently, we have animals at the animal barn, and they create manure and mixed in with their bedding. So that's a source of resource that we can use and do sometimes use at our farm. So again, new to Unity within the past few years is McKay Farm. And there they take any unwanted plant material from their production of crops, so the spent tomato vines, etc., and put that into a pile that they compost on site, sometimes mixing in the manure with that. And on a very small scale, also at McKay, they are doing vermicomposting with worm bins. So Unity College doesn't currently have a policy regarding compost. We have a lot of practices. In fact, one that we're proud of is that we take both post-consumer and pre-consumer food waste and feed it to pigs. Our pigs on campus as well as some local farms. And that's a great thing because the EPA has a food pyramid, a food hierarchy, I should say, food recovery hierarchy. And at the top of that, if you imagine an inverted pyramid, is feeding food to people. And the second best thing to do with food that people don't want is to feed it to animals. And the next best thing is actually to put that food into anaerobic digestion for the creation of energy. And fourth on that list is composting. And then the very last thing to do is to throw it out. We don't ever want to do that if we can avoid it. So what I would suggest for Unity College to consider is a policy that follows that pyramid, so that we do everything we can to make best use of food for people, whether that's on campus or any kind of hunger relief work that we can do. And then the second best thing would be to feed food to animals if we've got leftovers. Then we might consider a contract with an anaerobic digestion company in the area. And finally, compost. But ultimately, the overarching guideline for this principle that I might like to write is that none of Unity College's organic matter should be going to the landfill.
My name is Megan Anderson, and I'm the barn manager at Unity College. At the Unity Barn, we do composting that is based on the bedding that the animals leave after they've soiled it. So when we clean their stalls, we take all of that material and we put it into a compost pile. The food waste that comes from the cafeteria and the student center is brought down to a bucket shed where those food waste buckets are then picked up by students and a local farmer. The majority of the buckets with the food waste goes to a local farm, and what we can handle processing through our 4 pigs here we'll bring down to the barn and feed to them. I'm proud of Unity for the steps that they've taken. It's a process for a system, even though Unity is considered a small college, we have a big impact on the environment. So, they say every little bit helps, and it's really true. So I'm proud of that, and I'm impressed with the student involvement, and that goes beyond composting into recycling and returning cans and bottles and things like that. So
I'm Mick Womersley. I'm a PhD educator and researcher in climate mitigation, ecological economics, and renewable energy. I'm a farmer, so I know methods of dealing with wasted food. And I've also heard of programs. So, I've heard of programs that take leftover food from different restaurants and catering departments and use it to feed homeless people and things like that. You know, on the farm, as I said, we can, in fact, we don't put hardly any kitchen waste into the trash at all. There are only certain things that you can't recycle. I mean, orange peel. Sheep will happily eat banana skins. I mean, they love banana skins. So it's surprising what you can actually give to sheep, pigs, and chickens. And that combination actually works very well together. And we take the compost that we get from, you know, the livestock operation and use it to fertilize our vegetable garden. It's by far the best way to fertilize gardens and fields.
My name is Stu Silverstein, and my profession, well, I'm an artist. In Waterville, we've instituted pay-as-you-throw, and we have curbside recycling. It's great, but we desperately need a composting program, not only because it's the right thing to do for the environment, but compostables make up about 30 to 40% of our municipal solid waste. And if we can get the compostables out of the waste, then it would cost us much less to haul our municipal solid waste to PERC in Orrington. What we're looking for is an entrepreneur to come by to residents who sign up for a program where for a monthly fee they can leave their kitchen scraps in a bucket by the curbside, and this entrepreneur would pick them up and make compost with them or take them to an organization called Agri Energy, where the compostables will be turned into real compost, but also in the anaerobic process, energy would be made and there'd be enough electricity to power hundreds of homes. So we're looking for that person who wants to come by and pick up compostables. The program already exists in Portland with an organization called Garbage to Garden, and residents pay a monthly fee and they leave their compostables curbside in a plastic bucket, and Garbage to Garden picks them up and makes compost, and in return they'll actually give you a bucket of compost if you want that for your garden. In America, we waste an incredible amount of food. I mean, we eat too much, we consume too much, and we leave too much on our plates when we're done. And I'm as guilty as anyone concerning this. And I think we need to learn how to live with less and to have and create a smaller environmental impact. I mean, we have so much food here. It's amazing. We have too much food, and so much of it gets wasted. And it shouldn't be like that, particularly when there are so many hungry people out there, and the environment desperately needs our attention.